My name is Angela Hefter, and I'm Jacob's mother. He's very kind, and he was always the one that thought about what are we going to do for Mom for her birthday. So he was very sincere. He's a good kid, good son. Jacob got along with his brothers very well. He had a very unique relationship with each of them.
He was definitely the glue for our family. He was always there for any one of us. It was always great having him around. He just was always having a good time. Very rarely did I ever see him distraught. He was just a pleasure to be around. We actually shared a room all the way up until he left for college.
He was always the little buddy to my skipper.
Beginning of the junior year, it had become official, I guess, our relationship, and he was my boyfriend. We played golf together in high school.
By the time he was a senior, he was good at it. He qualified for the CIF golf tournaments. So that was his thing. He loved the game of golf. He played anytime he got a chance. He enjoyed life. He lived it to the fullest and helped everybody out that he knew and tried to make us all better people.
The day of the crash, Ellen and I were heading up north to go camping for the weekend.
He had texted me and told me it was the next stop. He was almost there, and he told me that he loved me and that he'd see me soon.
Just for some reason had popped out the CD in the radio, and we heard that there was this horrific train crash. And Stephanie, when I called her, she was crying, and so I said, "Stephanie, where's Jacob?"
Everything that I'd been holding together, because I knew in the pit of my stomach that something was wrong, just fell apart. And I started crying, and I told her that I didn't know.
And she says she didn't know. And I said to her, "Stephanie, was Jacob on that train?" And she said, "Yes, he was on that train." So I was just praying that he was going to be okay and that we would be able to see him.
You could see the paramedics and the firemen running around. You could see ladders hanging off. It was just like it was a war zone.
Hearing sirens going every direction, looking up and seeing 10 helicopters flying over.
They had what they called a reunification center at the high school. Our parents met us there, and then it was just playing the waiting game.
The battalion chief, he knelt down and he said, "Mr. and Mrs. Hefter," and he said, "Your son Jacob is dead."
And it wasn't until I heard Angela cry out, like her heart was being ripped out, that it kind of hit me.
"Why did this happen? How did this happen?" And he said, "Ma'am, we believe that the engineer was texting."
Because of his decision to take that 10, 20, 30 seconds, it cost 25 people to lose their life, including my brothers.
I just cannot believe that crash, that act of what he did, took my son.
It was really hard. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to just bury myself in this room that me and him shared for 18 years together. I would see and I would hear and I could feel like twisted metals and the red and blue lights flashing all around me.
Every weekend, I'd go to the cemetery and I'd just sit there for hours and just talk to him, lay down on the grass.
That day when Jacob died, I didn't just lose a son. My son's lost a brother. My grandchildren lost an uncle.
We talked about the possibility of getting married once we graduate and having kids and starting our lives.
There's so many people that have lost such a wonderful, wonderful person that could have been in their lives.
The Hefter family decided to start the foundation, which only makes sense because that's just the kind of family they are. To find a positive out of a negative.
They are working with us here with the California Highway Patrol to keep that from happening again. They're doing it in hopes that they save at least one life.
We do a lot of working with the kids. We have Jacob's car that has "Don't text and drive," and we have 6,000 signatures on it.
So when Angela and I get up and speak, we talk about making positive choices, making the right decision. I am a Los Angeles Police Department police officer where I work a gang unit and conduct crime suppression. I chose to go in law enforcement because I wanted to help people.
So I am asking people to drive distraction-free. And that's any kind of distraction, all distractions.
That's the key. It's not the phone, it's not the car, it's the individual.
It doesn't matter if it's 300 people you're responsible for, one person you're responsible for. It never affects just you. It affects everybody around you.
Parents have to be the example. You know, a lot of people say, well, my mom and dad do it all the time, so it's okay. Their number's going to be up sooner or later. They're going to hurt somebody.
Texting on your phone while you're driving is just as bad as taking a gun to somebody. Somebody's behind the trigger, somebody's behind pushing the buttons.
Just because you're not the driver doesn't mean that you're not a responsible person.
Oftentimes people would tell me that they don't text and drive, and I turn around and tell them, well, neither did Jacob. And look what happened. I mean, we need to educate everyone, and you need to be able to stand up when you're in a car and you're in the passenger seat to speak up to your friend and say, hey, do you mind? Can you do that? Can it wait?
You know, don't let the peer pressure. It's your life. It's your decision.
Distracted driving is impacting more than what we think, and it's out of control. And we are asking the community to help us bring that back under control by doing their part and not driving distracted.
Jacob's death was 100% preventable.
I believe that it shouldn't take losing a loved one in such a horrific way to make the decision to not text while driving.